All right, guys, if you can let us know if we do have volume this time.
Yeah, looks like we should be good this
Should be
time.
good. But if somebody can let us know, we'd appreciate it. Thanks, Tommy. Appreciate it. And Hamza, how are you, buddy? Brad, thanks for tuning in again. And guys, once again, if we can have you help us out, share the heck out of this stream, we'd appreciate it. Sue, you can go on to CompuSport and just search for the Niagara Falls event. Click on there. All the brackets are on there. And you can follow any team, stock anybody. Donnie, this is an exhibition, so you're watching Dr. Q, Mr. Tom Rossman himself, world champion trick shot show. So this is only exhibition. This is not an actual event. This is an exhibition happening outside. Right on, John, we appreciate it. So you're just watching Dr. Q kind of warm up a little bit before we get underway with the show. Yeah, Donnie answered that already, buddy. Yeah, Hamza, he's all of the shots that he does, you know, you can apply in games for sure. I just enjoy watching him. Like he's got so many different trick shots and so on and so forth. Thanks, Kelly. More to come yet. We still have the men's A division teams to come later tonight. So again, there will be some pretty amazing pool played later on. We just got to finish up the show with Dr. Q here, and we'll reset everything back into the main room. So it will be just amazing pool. And guys, once again, if you can help us out, share the heck out of this stream. After this stream, guys, we head back to Calgary on Sunday, tomorrow. I get to be back home for about 2.5 days. And then I'm heading up to Cold Lake. So we'll be going live again Thursday all day, Friday all day, Saturday all day, Sunday till it's done. And then the following weekend, we're up in Red Deer for the Alberta Bar Box Championships. Following weekend after that, it'll either be a fundraiser event or we're going to start streaming the SML playoffs. If we do get to stream the SML, that will be 11 days of streaming.
My head hurts.
Yes. After that, we head out to the Four Bears in North Dakota. And then we get to be home for 1 day.
Half a day before setup.
Yeah.
Well,
and then
a few hours.
Yeah, and then we're on to the Western Canadians in Calgary. So lots and lots of pool coming up, guys. If you are new to following us, make sure you go onto our Facebook page, click that like and follow button. By doing so, you'll be notified every time that we do go live. You'll have the choice to join the stream. It is very point and click easy. So this is the second show. There was one yesterday.
He is just warming up at the moment, so.
Yep. And once the show starts, guys, you'll find Ryan and I, we just kind of stop talking. We let him do his thing.
We say share a lot.
We do say share a lot.
Keep sharing, clicking that share button all the way through. Once he gets going.
And the reason we say share a lot, yesterday we got up to, I believe, 2,400 people watching this.
Yep.
So about every 100 people that do come in, we ask everybody to share. So you guys that are with us right now may or may not get tired of hearing us say share, but if we do, we don't mean to be annoying. We're just trying to get Dr. Q as many viewers as what we can. And Steph just clicked in. She is got her phone set up.
New shot for you.
So she is in the other room recording on her phone. There is no commentary. There is no anything on that other one, but you can watch both at the same time if you'd like to.
We're using our pool cue tripod for that one.
Yeah.
With some elastics and toilet paper, I think, to hold the phone on there.
Yeah, Justin, I'll send you a private message. So I just sent you a message there, Justin. Yeah, Brad, we've got a Mickelson custom cue and a BK3 up for raffle right now. Those are $30 per ticket on the Mickelson, and I believe 20 on the BK3.
There's only 40 tickets on the BK3, 70 tickets on the Mickelson.
We don't have those amount left, though.
No, they're sold a few. That will include shipping anywhere in North America.
And Justin, just same as always, just email qsportslive@gmail.com for that ticket.
You can look that up on PayPal.
Wow, Justin.
Yeah.
Justin knows that.
Well, anybody else that's listening, going, "Hey, I want a custom cue with 3 shafts worth well over $2,000."
Yep.
$30 is your chance.
And we'll get all those tickets caught up, guys, once this show is done and we're set back up again.
Yep.
So once that email transfer's done or PayPal's done, we'll get caught up on all of those as soon as this is all done and we're reset back in the main room. Nope, this one is not mine. My cue when I bought it is $2,800 for mine, but it is same custom maker. And anybody that's listened to any of the broadcasts before, everybody knows I'm a big fan of Mickelson cues. Love the way they hit. One of the best hitting as far as I'm concerned anyway. And Brad, if you do want a BK3 ticket, you know the drill. Email address qsportslive@gmail.com. PayPal if you're outside of Canada. PayPal.me/qsportslive. Sounds great. Thanks, Justin.
Thanks, Justin. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
I forgot it's Green Beer Day.
Yep.
Happy Green Beer Day, everybody. What are the big plans for going out, if anybody's going out?
Yeah, it's Gary to make an announcement, but we're going to be starting up here quick for the show out here.
I know you. That player that's professional lagger.
Semi-pro.
Semi.
He's a sand lagger, actually.
Sam.
There is actually a system out there, Blake, for exactly what you're talking about. I can't remember where I saw it, though. I'll try and find out what that was.
All Dr. Q stuff is on YouTube, he just said. You can check him out on there, so.
But I know the systems Blake's talking about, if the balls are not on the rails, there is a system out there for that. So guys, just out of curiosity, out of the 118 we have on so far, hopefully we'll get it back up to the 2,000 that we had yesterday. Where is everybody watching from? Kerry, we haven't got a picture of that Mickelson yet. We will, though. And John, no, he does not. He's one of those guys that he's very old school. You can, I believe, Google Mickelson under that name, Bernie Mickelson. For those that don't know him, back in his prime, he was known as the Big Stick. Major force to be reckoned with, to the point that he could not find any action anywhere in Canada or in the States. He actually had to travel across seas into Europe to go find any kind of action. So not only is he an amazing cue maker, but back in his day, he could still shoot, don't get me wrong, but back in his prime, he was almost untouchable. Sounds good, Sam. We appreciate it.
We're not in any real hurry, so. Oh, they are. Jeez, that was my worst stuff too. That's awesome.
Oh, you're very welcome, John.
There you go.
And guys, thanks for tuning in. If you are new, if you can help us out, share the stream. We're about to get started with the show here. I believe Dr. Q is getting all mic'd up.
That's an old 25-year-old
Yes, Brandon,
masterpiece with a
we're just taking a quick break
two-month-old
to
iPro
do this
shaft.
little
That's
show with
that's
Dr.
a lot
Q.
of experience.
As soon as
that's
this is
just
done, we'll shut the
learning.
stream down. Steph is running a stream in the
It's
other
like
room.
this
so
is
you can watch
kindergarten.
both.
This is
But as
beyond
soon as we're done
university.
here, we'll rip these cameras
Yeah,
back
you
out
can blame it
and
on
back
that.
reset
You blame it
in
on
the main
that,
room.
Ricky, okay?
I believe last matches tonight are called for
Have we
around
got
10 or
voice there?
10:30.
Have we got voice? How we doing? Can you hear
You're
me
good.
okay?
Yeah. Did everybody just hear Dr. Q there? I just want to make sure that his mic is correct and is working.
Well, on this table it'd be 7, yeah. Yeah. Not here, no. Can't get it. It dies off the 5th rail or 6th rail, so.
Sorry?
Mr. Gary,
streaming.
did you want to show us anything today? What do you want to show me? Something fancy? How about that 5 in the corner there? You think you can handle
Gary
that?
Benson.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, one-handed
Appreciate
jack
it.
up. Okay, you're out of it. Oh, look, you made it. You made that shot. Did y'all see that shot?
Yeah.
Gary Benson, he's the director. He's made that. That's awesome.
Gary's
I grew up, I wanna
Gary's
be
the
just like
tournament
Gary.
director here at the Canadians.
Great guy, man.
Everybody will know him from all the Vegas
For those that may
tournaments
not know
down
about
in
the tables,
Colorado.
Gary Benson is the High Country Promotions out of Fort Collins, Colorado. A lot of players don't know where the tables come from, and they've been doing tables for 30-some years now, all over the United States and Canada, and they have probably 350, 400 tables, and they're on the road 50 weeks of the year, so it's an amazing concept. So these tables we're playing on are 7-foot. They're called Big Sevens. The play field is, they measure tables by, there's the measurement from the nose of the cushion to the nose of the rubber. This is called the nose where the ball hits, the nose of the rubber. And when you measure these tables, from this nose to this nose, it's 40 inches. And if you measure from this nose to this nose, it's 80 inches. So the length is twice the width. Now on a commercial 8-foot table, it's 44 by 88, length twice the width. Commercial 8-foot, 46 by 92, length twice the width. Commercial 9-foot, professional size that they play on the TV rounds, different tournaments around the world. They're 50 by 100. If you go down into the 7-foot ranges, this is 40 by 80, as I mentioned. You have a 39 by 78 home style, 38 by 76. You have 60 by 30s on little bitty toy tables and stuff. And you get into Canada, and they have the 56 by 112, which is American snooker, or I think it's 60 by 120 on the Canadian snooker. So there's different sizes of tables, but all those tables are linked twice the width. So if somebody is telling you that a table's not regulation, just ask him if the length is twice the width, and that's a regulation table. Now there are, in most people's minds, there's a regulation 9-foot professional and a regulation 7-foot, which is for like this competition. But more regulation simply means length twice the width, so there's no need to get in an argument over that. It just means length twice the width. A generic term is all that is. So you're both right when you say that. For instance, I teach the mental game. And today I'm going to cover some shots, but I'm also going to cover some things that are mental in the game. Because I didn't cover this yesterday. We were doing a little exercise today, so if you are just tuning into this, call your friends, tweet them, Facebook them, give them a carrier pigeon message or whatever it takes, and let them know that we're going to do something for the next hour that's going to include not just shooting on the table, but it's also going to include some stuff on the playing between the ears. So I'm going to teach 2 primary things: the table and the game between the ears. And this is the one we struggle with most of the time. So I'm going to explain how to handle that. For an example, just a basic concept here. If I line up for a shot, and yesterday I went into the mechanics of shooting good pool, almost, if you watch all the top players, most all the top players, 99% of all professionals, and even the top amateurs in this tournament, which are professional level on this size table if you're the top player, you basically have a plumb bob on a cue stick. I explained this a little bit yesterday, but the plumb bob is supposed to hang underneath your arm like this when you start, so that when you pull it back, it goes straight when it swings. But if you start basically with a cue stick that's out too far or in too far, when you have it out like this, when you swing it goes crooked, so the tip goes like this. And that's why we hit the ball wrong. So it's very important when you're playing in a game of pool, and there's two basic forms. One is the snooker style, which most of the Canadians have learned since birth. The Canadians would basically take a frontal approach like this, and any of the snooker, and what they'll do is they'll turn their torso like this into the shot. They'll turn their torso into the shot with the cue stick coming back to the shoulder. So they go like this, they come down, then they put their chin on the stick like this. Now that's basically how most of the top professional snooker players play. And if you're playing an American style pool in the States, what we do is we learn from Mosconi. Mosconi's technique was turning from the side with a cue like hanging down by your side like you're walking. And what happens is the cue stick is already in line with the shot, so all you got to do is stand next to the cue stick like this. And players will either go above the cue, they'll go down lower like Mosconi, they'll go with their chin on the stick. All of these are okay. There's nothing wrong with any of them. So I never teach that one is necessarily correct. They're all correct, and they're also all not correct depending upon what's right for you. So when you're trying to understand how to stand, there's two primary things you must have no matter what your form is with your chin. You must have the cue under your shoulder to start with, and you must swing your cue straight. If you swing your cue crooked, or you start from a crooked position, then you won't play top-level pool or snooker. And the mechanics of snooker players are flawless, basically, if you're playing top-level snooker. That's why most of the Canadian players, and those that are watching here, a lot of people from Canada watching, but if you're anywhere in the world that uses snooker style, most of those players have pure mechanics. So if you go to then from pure mechanics of snooker and you go to pool, you're going to play pretty good pool because the pockets are bigger, and all you got to do is use the same mechanics, and now you've got more air margin or less air margin to work with, and you can make more balls. So it's amazing how, and this happened years ago. I used to come to Canada to teach. We did that for 10 years, and the snooker players would go to the U.S. and they would beat all the Americans because they had the purity of snooker. And we don't have that. We just kind of get careless sometimes. Yeah, it's true. We get a little careless. So here's what happens if you play pool and you don't have snooker mechanics. Here's what happens. You take your first shot, you chalk up, you put your chalk down. Now some people chalk up, they put their chalk down, and then they keep walking. So they kind of go like this. See? They take a detour. So what you do is if you go like this and go like this, you don't know if you're lining up straight. You get down the shot, then you try to figure out where straight is. You want to know where straight is before you get down, you'll play better. Because if you're down trying to figure out straight, you're taking a whole bunch of crookeds and trying to find the acorn, which doesn't exist most of the time. So if you stand back, you can see straight. Now when you step in, you're straight in the shot. So when you pull back, the cue swings straight. Now, what most players do, though, when they shoot a shot like this, if they start out with the chalk, put it down and come back. So always, you chalk up, put the chalk down or wherever you put it. Then you want to come back and realign. Now the cue is going to be straight again to your target. Now when you come down, and here's where most players go wrong. They see an easy shot, so they slide over like this. Now once you slide over and you don't step back again and do it all over again, you have a chance of glitching, and your game is going to have a flaw to it. And all the shots I do are based upon pure mechanics, even though sometimes I miss, it's because I miss on purpose. A lot of people don't know I miss on purpose. And the reason I miss on purpose is that you'll think I'm struggling. And if I struggle 8 times and then I make it, you go wild. But if I make everything first time, nobody thinks, well, that's natural. So I want to make sure that you see shots that are really difficult by me missing on purpose. Therefore, when I make it, you'll go bananas. See, it's an art form. You have to know when to miss and when to make. That's critical, okay, when you're doing this type of stuff. Now, a couple of other things that's important. I want to explain a little bit about, I didn't get into this too much yesterday, but English.
Guys, if you can help us out.
I'm going to show some basic concepts of position and things, and we're going to get into some of the trick shots. First of all, when you're shooting a cue ball into an object ball, you want to try to use the vertical line of the cue ball. regardless of what top players will tell you, you want to use the vertical line and not too much side spin unless you have to. The only reason that most of the top players use side spin is because they learned that from somebody else that was using side spin, and they said if you use side spin, you'll play better. And sometimes that can cost you your game. It doesn't mean that it's bad, it just means that you have to be careful how much you use. For instance, if I hit this cue ball, and I hit this cue ball on the left side, and I land for the 5, and I shoot this ball, all cue sticks bend. That's called deflection. And so when you shoot through this shot and the cue stick deflects, it actually pushes the ball off the line. That's called squirt. You all knew that was squirt, right? And squirt causes us to miss sometimes. For an example, if I put this here, I'll show you an interesting little test. Here's a test you can do with your cue stick. It's a test. If you line up straight for a shot, now watch it, this is going to be amazing. And if y'all want to get comfortable, we got plenty of chairs, sit down. We're going to be around here for 3 days, so just sit down. I'm sorry, 1 hour. Sit down, because the streamers are going to go to sleep if I do that. Thank you, by the way, for streaming. Appreciate it, guys. The name of the company is?
Cue Sports Live.
Cue Sports?
Live.
Cue Sports Live.
Live. Cue Sports Live. So if you've got friends, give them a phone, call them, tell them Cue Sports Live, look it up, and they can join us, okay? Anywhere in the world, even in Antarctica. I explained it yesterday. The penguins are waiting to see this, okay? So, and by the way, the jokes are going to get better. I promise. So, and if they don't, we'll just tell them anyway. Now, let me show you something that happens and players don't realize it happens. If I line up straight for this shot, and I hit this cue ball on the left side, if I aim right on the left side of this ball, what's going to happen is when I hit it hard, watch what happens. The ball misses here. Now let me explain why it misses. So players want to know why they miss shots with side spin. When you hit the ball on the left side, even though you're lined up straight, the cue ball will squirt offline like this. I'm exaggerating with a slow motion, and it hits here and it makes it miss, even though you lined up straight. Now at the other side of the equation, you can hit it on the left side and hit it easier and it'll still miss, but it'll miss on the other side. So we line up straight again, and this time we hit it easy, and the ball hits us on that side. So you hit the English the same on both shots, but you missed one to the left and one to the right. So if somebody's teaching you English, they better explain more than just English. They got to explain squirt and curve and transfer, and it's a nightmare. It's like almost unbelievable. You can't calculate it almost. You have to play a lot of pool to learn how to do that. So my recommendation is the following. Just like Willie Mosconi, who was one of the greatest players in the old era pool, 80% of his shots, 526 balls he made without missing in straight pool, he shot with vertical line hit, 80%. Can you imagine? There's 3 ways to get position. Speed, angle, and English. English is the worst one unless you need it. Sometimes you're forced to need it. But you should always play speed and angle. So for an example, if I have this shot, I don't need anything fancy. You're picking a place up here by the ball, and to get it to go over there, you hit it on the vertical line, and the cue ball will travel right over to your next shot. See? You know why it goes over there. Because it's round. Now next, okay? Next. A ball, of course, rolls. We better clarify something because I got a feeling that we're going to have a test first, okay? A little test. Does everybody know why the ball rolls? Because it's round. Don't get complicated, okay? Why does a cushion bounce? Because of rubber. That's correct, rubber. Don't get complicated. And why does a ball drop? Because of gravity. Everybody gets gravity. They never get rubber and they don't get round. We're making the game too complicated. You're sitting in a chair. Let me give you a mental tip. You're sitting in a chair after you make a mistake in the game, right? How many have ever sat in a chair after making a mistake? Anybody? Do you all play pool? Do you all play pool? Then your hand should be in the air right now. So if you're playing pool and you make a mistake, it's because something went awry either in your mechanics or in your pre-shot routine, that you didn't analyze something correctly. So what do? We go over to the chair. I'll demonstrate, okay? This is you playing pool. This is a mental tip. Mental tip. So here you are. You make a mistake. You go over to the side, and I assume you have to sit down when you're done, right? When you miss a shot, don't you have to sit down? So let me pretend you're over here, okay? And you sit down. Now what do you do when you sit down? Now your opponent's going to be at the table, and I don't know how long they're going to be at the table. I would assume they're going to be at the table for at least 15 seconds, correct? Would it be less than 15 seconds? No, nobody's ever going to be here less than 15 seconds. Now, so here you are. What do you do when you're sitting in a chair? When you're sitting in a chair and you shoot this shot and you miss that shot, what do? What do? You think about that shot, right? And you're thinking about having a pity party for missing that shot. See, that's going to completely destroy you in your match. There's no way you're going to win that match because your brain is on the pity party instead of something that's different, that's non-debatable. That's debatable why you missed it. You can sit here for 30 years and never figure out what you did wrong, especially when you're in heat of battle. So the mind has to do something to fix this. Now, I don't know if you've ever heard this, but I wrote a new manual called Student of the Game and Life, and it tells you how to fix this situation. Now, by the way, there isn't anybody in the entire world who hasn't done that. You've all missed a shot you should have made, correct? So you have to deal with this or you're going to have a problem. So here's what you do. You sit in a chair, and I call it 15 seconds to victory. First of all, we have to understand non-debatable items. A ball rolls because it's round. That's non-debatable because it's not square. Number two, a ball bounces because of rubber. It's not made out of concrete. It's non-debatable. Everybody knows that's rubber. It drops because of gravity. Everybody knows that. We're not going to debate that unless you're on a space shuttle. And let's do one more thing to make sure we're on the same page. Let's look at the pockets and see if the pockets move. The pockets don't move. That's non-debatable unless you're in an earthquake. So therefore, you have 4 things you can dwell on instead of the pity party. Why do we want to focus on the negative when we can go to the positive that's non-debatable? Because that's debatable. So let me show you how to fix it. Now, this is awesome. You're sitting in a chair. The first thing you do is you sit down, and inside you say, oh boy, I get to work on what's going on. I get to work on it. But here's how you work on it. Now, everybody, if you do this, you're going to win more matches. You're going to win more games because your brain clears its cobwebs out of the pity party, unless you want to keep a pity party in your life. So, if you want to remain negative, what I'm about to say is not going to have any effect. So I'm going to try to, and I'm a tough teacher. I like to tell my students never to say but, or if, or oh my. I want them to say things like, this is my favorite shot. I love pool. I haven't missed in 30 years. I haven't lost a game in 30 years. If you start saying that, you'll start playing better pool. So here's what happens. You're sitting there, watch this, simple. Then we'll get into shooting. Actually, I'm shooting right now, but you don't know it yet, okay? So you're sitting here, and here's all you do. You close your eyes for 4 seconds. And all you do is you envision a ball rolling, bouncing, dropping, and pockets not moving. Then you open your eyes. That took 4 seconds. When you open your eyes for 1 second, you close them again, and you visualize rolling, bouncing, dropping, pockets not moving. Open them up. Do 10 seconds. One more time. Close the eyes, rolling, bouncing, dropping, no pockets moving. Open them up at 15 seconds. After 15 seconds, when you come back to the table, you won't even remember why you had the pity party. Because your brain shifted from the negative to the positive. So you have to learn to do this. It's easy to do. Anybody can do it. Now we're going to move on and do some shots. I want to show you one more tip. Now, does everybody know what a safety is here? Does everybody know what a safety is? We better clarify it. There might be some viewers that don't know what a safety is. Do you all know? Hello. Do you know what a safety is? Do they know what safety is? We just need a yes on that. Does anybody know up there on the screen what a safety is? Does anybody know what a safety is? I'll explain safety, okay? This is for a safety for the viewers, okay? You can hit it like this into a rail, the object ball. That's a safety where you hit it. Here's another safety. Hit the cue ball into a rail, off the ball. That's a safety. Here's another safety most players miss. They don't see the shot. Come in the backside and hit it like this. And, well, that's making a ball. Okay, hold on. Now, this time I'll try. Well, I called the safety and I made it, okay? But here's how you shoot it. Watch this. See this? And it hits a rail, so it's still a safety. Now, anytime you miss a shot and the ball hits the rail, what's it called?
Safety.
A safety. You all know that. There isn't anybody. How many know that? All the hands should be up. Okay, let's have another test. Everybody that's here, raise your hand right now. Wait, one person didn't raise their hand over here. They're not here yet, okay? But they're, okay, now watch. So here we go, a safety. Now I'm going to show you something very interesting about a safety. I was teaching a class one time, and I was teaching a safety class. So I went like this, and I said safety. But my friend, who knew I could play pool pretty good, comes in late. And he comes in, and I said, look what happened to that shot. And he says, geez, I'm sorry you missed. I said, no, we're playing safety demonstration right now. He says, oh, yeah, that makes sense. You can miss and say safety and still feel good. So watch this. You're playing in a game, and this is how you solve the mental game. If I shoot this shot I'm supposed to make, here's what I do. I go back over here, do the 15 seconds, but here's what I do on top of it. I close my eyes, and I say safety, and I feel a lot better. If we start doing this, I did this 30 years ago, that's why I haven't missed in 30 years. I start saying safety on every shot. And it's legal inside, and your brain will say, wow, I didn't miss, it was a safety. Start doing it, watch what happens to your game, you'll play better. The only other option is for you to have a pity party. And I don't allow pity parties when I teach the mental game. I don't allow that. If you want to have a pity party, I'm not going to teach you. You want to be a better player?
Share
I'm
the
gonna
stream
teach
for
you
us,
some techniques
guys.
that'll
You
help.
can learn
For an
a lot
example,
from this session here.
one last thing here that's going to help. How many of you know, it's going to be hard to see this, but I think you'll see it. How many of you know what a long shot is?
Guys, if
Does
your
anybody
feet
here
is
like
feeding,
long
just
shots
log
like
back
this?
out and
Anybody
back
like
in
this
again.
shot? You do? Do you like that long shot like that? On that 15? No, you don't like that long shot. Do you know why? Because you're standing here. If you go back like this, now this is a long shot, okay? Yeah, it's long. So if you go like this and come up here, it gets shorter, and it gets shorter, and pretty soon, the shot that you thought was long is short in disguise. So it's very important when you're playing a game of pool, and the other day we had a comment on the stream about this. The most important thing when you're playing pool is not to stand here. There's a 3-foot perimeter everybody wants to stand in. Somehow, we feel like if we go outside that, we're going to get a shock with a wire. All you got to do when you're near the table is just back up a little bit like this. Now the shot gets longer in perception. When you step back in, you're stepping in with a better perception of the shot, and you'll make more shots. How simple is that? So I wanted to share that with you. Now we're going to do a few shots for you. I just want to share those mental tips. We have a lot more mental tips. In order to do the next few shots, we need to ask a question for everybody here. And I think some of you know the answer, but there might be a few people. Maybe we can get somebody to answer this on the stream.
Okay, guys,
Sure,
here's a
there's-
chance
Does
for you.
anybody on the stream know what side of the road they drive on in England? Now, I would venture to say that there's some people here from England that may be watching. Yesterday we had Australia, and we had Asia, and we had South America, and we had a lot of people from Canada, and we had people from the States, and I didn't ask that question. And sir, are you on the stream officially right now?
No.
Well, let's see, that's what they thought online too.
Johnny,
We got some lefts here, yeah.
Johnny says left.
All right, left. And now ask Johnny if he knows why they drive on the left side of the road.
Okay,
Go
guys,
ahead,
why do
ask
they
Johnny.
drive?
He can hear you.
Yeah.
Johnny, can you, thank you, Johnny. Johnny, listen, Johnny, we're buddies, okay? Give me a little. Now, Johnny, why do they drive on the left side of the road, Johnny? Are you from England, Johnny? No. Does Johnny have any idea why they drive on the left side of the road? We'll wait for his answer.
He says no clue.
Okay, I'm going to explain why this is. Number one, it goes back, the analytical answer is 500 years ago, they used to joust. And they were on a horse. And the joust was on the right. And they were on the left side of the rope, so they kept doing this so they could knock them this way. They never had any left-handed jousters. That was the original analytical answer. But the reason they drive, Johnny, excuse me. Everybody, I'll be with you in a second. Johnny, the reason they drive on the left side of the road, Johnny, is because it's the right thing to do. Now, Johnny, I'm not done yet. In the United States, we drive on the right side of the road. And here, do you know why we drive on the right side of the road? I'll give you time to think about that. No, they're using that line. I'm sorry. See, this line is trademarked. You can't use that line. It's the right thing to do. I'll give you the answer. The reason we drive on the right side of the road is because it's all that's left. Now, hang on. I know it's funny, but I'm not done with my teaching yet. You have to pay attention to the rest of the teaching, okay? So therefore, now listen to this. Pay attention over here, okay? Now watch. They drive on the left side, and they think that we're wrong, and they think they're right. And we think we're right, and they're wrong. So who's right and who's wrong? We're both right, and we're both wrong. Therefore, you can't take a stand on chocolate and vanilla ice cream, because they're both right and they're both wrong. So there's no use to argue over chocolate ice cream or vanilla ice cream. There's no use to argue over cars. You don't want to argue over tips. You don't want to argue over cues. You want to go out to pool and enjoy pool and say, this is my favorite game. I love all the game. I like this. It's got 6 pockets. And if it only had 2, I'd still be happy. You just got to have a different attitude and a perception, and you'll still be right. All right, you got it? Now, let's move on to some shots. I was showing the follow shot. Here's a couple of other shots that come up. For an example, you're playing a 9-ball. Now, 9-ball players are a very unique group of players. They like to get that 9-ball moving early sometimes. So here's an example of a 9-ball shot where the 9-ball's sitting. Let's go here. And the 8-ball's sitting here. And, well, let's reverse it to make it even more exciting, like this. And the 1 ball is over here. Now, you've all probably had this. And if I wanted to win this game, it'd be easy, right? Everybody knows how to win this. You aim at half of this ball like this, and you go like that, and you get position on a bank for the 8-ball. Everybody knows that. Now, a lot of players don't know that's a dead. They don't know that. But if you go like this and hit it like this, the ball goes right like that over there, comes over here, hits there, and then you get a safety out of it, see? It's important to understand how easy some shots are. Now, somebody says, well, why did you miss that? Because I wasn't trying to make it yet. Now, here's the way you do it if you don't like that shot. Watch this. The ball is behind the pocket. You've all had this in that tournament. And by the way, for those that are watching, we are at the Sheraton on the Falls, major hotel here in Niagara Falls area. It's right on the falls almost. In fact, you might feel a little mist right now, but it's right on the falls. And what we're doing is we are shooting here at the CCS
Canadian
Championships tournament. I mean, it's awesome. They're playing pool all over the place. And sometimes the players here get these shots. Now, if you look at this really close, it doesn't look like you've got a real shot here. Because if I shoot this 1, the cue ball is going to hit this rail, and I don't have a real shot. So what we can do is we can actually use what we call gyroscopic inertia with reverse osmosis to it. All right? That's wrong, because that wouldn't work. So you're going to hit it high and left, and it's called walking the dog, they call this in our competitions. We hit the 1, the cue ball hits here, and then it goes down and it walks down to the 9-ball. So it's like this. Great shot like this. See? Isn't that beautiful? Now, if you want to see that go in, you can buy my video. I have a video where this goes in, actually. Some players say, well, can you make it? I have no idea if I can make it because it's up to you. If you'll all help me, I think I can make it, okay? So let's get a little bit of encouragement here from the audience. If the audience will cooperate on this, I might have a good chance of making this. Let's chalk up, make sure I chalk up on this shot. Okay, good. Now, well, they probably want to know. That's refills. You got to make sure. So let's do this. Watch this right here. No, I'm playing position, so I got a combination. Now, somebody says, what if you want to make the 9? I can make the 9. Now I'll go ahead and make it because some people are getting tired of seeing me missing it on purpose. So I'll actually make the shot now. Watch this, cue ball high left, walking the dog. Watch it. See? Very simple shot. See? Now listen, that's called exotic high. I don't like to use that. Let's do a couple of other things that are exotic. For an example, if you're playing for the World Championship and you get this shot here, and you want to make these 2 balls, you can use exotic high, hit the cue ball with an acceleration like this, ball goes across over like this, it goes like that. Simple shots. Another situation. Here, you're going to play, now some players want to use what's called the stop. If you go to the tournament, you're playing in tournaments, most professionals, most top players, they try to control the cue ball from A to B to C. You must be able to do this. So I'm going to give you a practice exercise that everybody can do. If you have a table at home, you can do this. If not, go to your local pool room or billiard center and practice this exercise. What we want to do is we want to learn to control the cue ball. Now, when you use high, it's still rolling. You don't always have perfect control, but it's better than nothing at all. But when you're doing this exercise, it's perfect control. You want to learn to stop the cue ball so there's no chance of making an air margin. So when I hit this ball a little bit below center like this, basically the ball will stay in that position. I don't want the cue ball to travel. So anytime the cue ball is on that line, just pop it like this. Your cue ball is under control. So you go a little bit below center and you pop it. But the only problem with that is most people don't know how to practice that. So I'm going to show you how to practice it. You should do about 100 of these a day. Start out at about 6 inches and shoot this shot. A little below center and just pop it. Then, after 10 tries, double it to 12 inches. Go a little bit further down and a little bit lower, a little more acceleration, the ball there. Now double it to 24 inches. Line up, lower, faster. And you keep doing it. Now you double it to 48 inches like this. We go to 48 inches. Now this is a little bit tougher, 48 inches. You've got to stand back and see that long shot is short. Step into your shot. Go down lower and go down faster like this and just pop it like this. And the hardest one is this one. Put it in the corner. Put a ball over here. From the corner, try to stop it now. Now this is not easy. You must hit it square, and you got to be able to stop it on the diagonal of a pool table. You have to have perfect alignment, perfect hit, perfect stop stroke. You got to accelerate with a rotation of the cue ball going backwards. You got to hit this ball perfect. So just like this. Just like this. Try to stop it on a dime. Off a little bit. But it ends up with your natural 4-rail shot. So you go like this, and you hit it like this. The ball goes over like this, comes down, goes like this, goes like that, comes down. And you always get a safety close to the pocket. When I shoot 4-railers, we were talking about this earlier, it always stays close to the pocket. Now, if you want to make it, then you shoot 27 rails. Right? You all know that, right? You shoot like this. You go around like this. That's 3, right? And you keep shooting. And that's 6 rails. And that's 9 rails. We got to throw in a trick shot here. That's 12 rails. And you keep shooting. And that's 15 rails. And remember, and you keep doing that. That's 18 rails. And you go like that and you keep doing it. That's 21. And you do it again like this. And then finally, after you do your 27, you go like this. You do 27 like this. This is awesome. This is perfect, okay? So, this is a trick shot that you can have fun with. Make sure you chalk up between shots. That's very, very important, okay? Let's do a few trick shots now, just because there's some viewers that also want to see. So I'm going to do a couple quick tricks I didn't do yesterday. First, I'm going to do a trick shot that became world famous in a 9-ball tournament one time on ESPN and also in our professional competitions. Here's a 9-ball shot, and if anybody wants to answer this, feel free to answer the question. How you would handle this trick shot or this shot in a game of 9-ball. Now, most of the players in the arena here are top players. Most of these guys know this shot because they get it all the time and they know how to take care of this, right? They do the standard safety. They play it like this. They hit the 1 ball like this. The ball goes over, and the 1 ball goes up in the middle of that rail. That's how they play this shot. Then they leave their opponent a bank shot. But, of course, they don't know that everybody here can bank 4 rails or whatever, and they'll make it. So I don't like to do that shot because I don't want to leave my opponent that shot. They'll make it. Now, even if they make it, oh, the 4 is a problem. So what you want to do here is you want to try to win this game. And to win this game, it's pretty easy. All you got to do is hit this cue ball into this 1. The cue ball comes up around, and it kicks it back in the pocket like this. Now, and this shot is a kind of a stroke shot. The key to this is dead low, no right or left. You don't want any squirt on this. So this is one of our ESPN shots. Now, by the way, this is one of the most unique names on any shot. Of all the shots I do, this is one of my top 5 for names. The name of this shot is the snap, crackle, pop, jump, nip, draw. Now, you'll hear the snap, crackle, pop, and you'll see the jump, nip, draw. Okay, everybody got that? Write that down. Barry, you ready for this? Watch this amazing shot. It's a great way to win the game. So, playing the 9-ball in the pocket. Watch this shot. Let's do it twice. Some people miss that, okay? Let's do it again. If you miss that shot, stick around because I will make this shot. Let me chalk up again. I hate to do that without chalking up. Okay, here we go. Watch this shot. Awesome. Watch this shot. Boom. That's how you make it. Now, that's a pretty simple shot, right? Sometimes the shots get harder like this. You want to make the 8-ball. It's a pretty simple. You just go out there and just make the 8. It works right every time. It's a great shot. A lot of players don't shoot that shot, okay? Boy, those guys are looking funny over there. What's going on? Huh? You guys okay on that? I'll slow it down for you, sir. Sir, I'll slow it down for you, okay? I don't want them to miss out. Let me slow it down. You want an 8-ball or can I use half an 8-ball? Can I use the 4? It's half there. Okay. I'll slow it down for you, okay? Now you'll see it, okay? Oh, I don't want them to miss it. Now, see, the streamers have no problem. Because they could put it, they're filming it, and they could just replay it in slow motion. But you guys aren't going to be able to do that because you don't have your camera. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it in slow motion to get the advantage of being on stream. So even though you're not on stream, you're actually on stream.
If you guys can share
Okay,
away for us,
now.
please. We can get everybody to click
Did I
that share
clarify
button.
that? All right, slow motion. Now watch this. That's an illegal push shot. Listen, I better explain pushing. You know, yes, I did them. I didn't explain them. I better tell you what cheating is. Some players have no idea what cheating is. I'm going to tell you the 12 illegal shots of pool. Because I don't want you to be in a tournament and call the ref over and thinking it was illegal when it might have been legal. So I'm going to explain the 12 illegal shots of pool, okay? So the next time you're in a match, you don't need to call the ref because I'm already going to give it to you, okay? You ready? So here it is. These are the 12 illegal shots of pool. It's like 12 days of Christmas. Are you ready? So here we go. First illegal shot is this one. 2 balls, withdrawal. Completely illegal. Next. Number 1.
We're having issues with that.
Number 2, side stick English, illegal. If you're a comedian, slapstick English. Number 4, bank stick English. Next, number 6, 5, 1 ball push. Number 6, 2 ball push. Number 7, 3 ball push. Number 8, 4 ball push. That's tough. That 4 ball push is a tough one. What are we up to? 9. Number 9. This is according to Newton. Fig and Wayne Newton. Here we go. Ready? Number 9. 2 solids without the stripe. Well, excuse me. That's also solid. Okay, here we go. You ready? 2 solids without the stripe. Boom. Next. The ball in the middle this time. Number 10. The ball in the middle without a cue stick. Illegal. Next. Number 11, 9 in the corner. Number 12. And finally, we're going to throw in a baker's dozen. Baker's dozen. Illegal. Next. So for those that are watching, now everybody in this room knows what illegal is. So the next time you get one of these shots, oh, I better show you one more that could come up. This could come up. Remember yesterday when I was explaining when you had a shot like this for a safety and somebody left you up on top of the ball like this? Remember this? This is also a shot you may deal with. Some people have actually had this. You know there's people in there right now and people watching the stream that have actually had this? About 3 o'clock in the morning, they've had this. So I'm going to show you what to do with this. Just play it there. It's a dead bank shot for you bankers. Right there, perfect. Now the next shot, okay? Very difficult bank shot off that point. I'd only do that one time. If you missed that, you have to come back next year. I have another one, much more difficult. We're going to get into now some shots from the movies. Remember the movies in 1961? There was a movie. Anybody know the name of the movie? Hustler. Who played Fast Eddie? Who played Minnesota Fats? Who played Clem Cadiddlehopper? Clem Cadiddlehopper. That's a tough one. I got him. Yeah. Well, I'm not going to give the answer. Let's see if anybody on the stream knows who played Clem Cadiddlehopper. All right, here we go. We'll come back to it. Clem, that's Clem, K-L-E-M, Cadiddlehopper. Excuse me. We've already got an answer. I'm sorry. Red Skelton. That was not in the movie. That was the final trivia question on Jeopardy, okay? Thank you. So here it is. In the movie, this shot came up. And Fast Eddie made this ball back here. Now, by the way, he didn't actually shoot this shot this way. He was a right-handed player, and he didn't shoot it from this side. If you go back to the movie, he shot it from this side, and he had to stretch across the table with a cue like this. If you look at the movie real close, everybody started shooting this with the cue elevated. But when I first saw the movie, I didn't see that. I saw him, to me it was natural. As a right-hander to shoot it this way, so I kept my cue level. So when I went to ESPN, I came up with a shot to keep your cue level because you could put parameters on the shots. So I'll show you what I did so that everybody had to comply with the rules. And they had their rules for their shots. So here's what, that's why there was a lot of strategy on ESPN. Players would come up with shots, and you had to put a parameter, and you had to comply with that parameter or it wouldn't count. So for an example, here was a shot. I want you to imagine this. Your opponent breaks and leaves you this after the break. Imagine. So the balls are here. And the parameter I put on this was simple. I took this right here now. And I put a ball over here like this. And I put a ball up here like this. Now, the parameter of the shot was simple. This is an ESPN shot. The idea was to shoot this 8 ball back in the corner, and the cue ball had to come out and get out of the way. Now, the parameter was this. When the players shot it, they had to keep the cue below the top of this ball with the bottom of their stick. So this was the parameter. When you shoot, you had to keep your cue. If the cue was like this, even though you made it, it didn't count because this was not complying with the rules of the shot. So they had a referee like this, watching the bottom of the cue in relation to the top of the ball. And if you at the moment of impact, that cue was above the ball, you didn't get credit for it. And of course, they had their own shot later. They had their own rule on. So it was interesting. But this is the way I practiced. So to me, it was no problem. For everybody else, it was a problem.
Sure if
nobody
you
could
can see
raise
what's going on with
their
that camera,
cue
if
down.
it's flickering on
Because they
your
did it for
end.
20 years the other way. So here it is. 8 ball back in the corner. This is called the Hustler banquet dressing. Now, by the way, for those that want to know why it's with dressing, in the movie, these didn't exist. But in the movie, Paul Newman had a company called
Let's
Choice
see if I can
Dressing,
fix that glitch.
which was salad dressing for lettuce and stuff, right? And he called it Choice Dressing. So when the movie came out, I decided to take the Hustler Bank and convert it to Paul Newman, since he was in the movie, to his dressing. So this is the Hustler Banquet dressing. Yeah, of course, it's natural. Now, by the way, it had got to the point where some people eat lettuce and dressing, and they went extra dressing. So I put these in champagne glasses up in the air. In fact, I don't have enough of them. Yeah, wait, hang on a second. This is cool. Hang on. Oh, yeah, I don't have them. I think they're over there. Is there any plastic glasses over by that water thing?
He's a legend.
Bring me just bring me like 4 of them, would you? Now, I'll show you how I did it on ESPN. This is really pretty on ESPN. We want to do the Hustler Bank with extra dressing. So what we did is we took these balls and we put them up in the air like this. We put them in glasses. This is extra dressing. None? Yeah, just bring me. Yeah, that's okay. Bring it over here. Yeah, that's fine. No, this will work. We're just going to do a couple. Look at here.
Champion.
Thank you.
He's a world champion.
Perfect. That's perfect. This is the Hustler Bank with extra dressing. We'll turn them up this way. The Hustler Bank with extra dressing. And the balls were all sitting up in the air like this. So imagine for TV how pretty this was. The balls are all up in the air. And we had them on this side like this. So now we have the Hustler Bank with extra dressing. We'll just go like that. That's enough. So here was your shot. And you were shooting kind of down like a little cavern. You had to shoot. And imagine these balls are all back. These are all up in the air, way back here. We'll put this over here. So here we go. This is the Hustler Bank with extra dressing. So you had to kind of creep in on this. You had to sneak in here like this. And you had to shoot this. And the cue ball had to come out and get out of the way. And this ball could not fall off the ball. And the stick had to be below it. Awesome shot. Just like this. What a great shot this is. So watch this 8 ball back in the corner. Awesome shot. That's the shot right there. So that was one of the harder shots. Yep. Hello. By the way, if you're all having a problem with your game, use 2 cues and call me in the morning. Now, in 1986, that was 61. In 1986, there was another movie. What was that movie? The Color of Money. Fast Eddie was making a comeback because they weren't playing straight pool like in 61. They were playing what? 9-ball. They went from straight pool 25 years before and they converted to 9-ball. Everybody was playing 9-ball then. And Fast Eddie was making a comeback, but he wasn't playing fast because fast was gone. There was a new kid on the block. Who was that? And what character? That's very good, Mr. One-Handed Champ Blagger. Okay? So here it is. We had this situation where the shot came up in the movie like this. This is awesome. So the movie shot comes up. This was in the movie. Now, they didn't want to shoot this way because they was afraid that it might be a push. So it turned around like this and shot the one in the corner, and the cue ball stayed in her position on the 9-ball. Like this. See, that was the shot in the movie. Simple shot, right? But that was too easy for ESPN. So on ESPN, we decided to make it more difficult. So we took this like this and moved the 9-ball out here. And we shot the 9-ball 5 cushions like this around the table. Went over, hit this with perfect timing. The one goes down and makes this and combinations this into the corner pocket. A very basic concept. So there we go. Oh, this is a tough shot. Can you imagine it going in? Can everybody kind of visualize this going in? Because if you can visualize it, I don't have to shoot it. You ready? Watch this shot. This is a great shot here. It's an awesome shot. Yeah. Close. Now, by the way, in ESPN, we got 2 tries. And in the World Championships, we got 3 tries. And in Niagara Falls, we got 12. Because everybody wants to see this shot, and they never want to see you make it. They just want to keep seeing the beauty of the shot. So let's just look at the shot. This is great. Okay. Here we go. Watch this. Oh, that's sad right there. All right, one last attempt. If I don't make it this time, here's what we're going to do. We're going to shoot it this last time. If it doesn't go in, we're going to shoot it one last time. And then we're going to shoot it a final time after the very last time, which will be before the last time. So if you want to write all that down, there's a lot of time here to do this. Okay, everybody got it? Oh, I'm making it. I'm making the shot. I can feel it. Can you all feel it going in? I can feel it going in. But in ESPN, I used a 5-ball because the 5 is bigger and it's got a better chance of making the 9-ball. Here we go. You watch this. This is amazing. Hi, Wayne. Wayne, would you like to make sure I make this legal?
Is that PCA rules or
Dr. Q rules. I'm going to shoot the 9-5 rails, turn around, hit this. The 5 is going to combination of 9 in the pocket.
Okay.
Are you ready? Make sure it's legal, Wayne. Make sure it's legal, okay? Make sure it's a legal shot, okay? Make sure it's a legal shot, okay? Oh, look at that, yeah! That's the shot. Thank you, good shot. That's the shot. Isn't that a great shot? I never make that. Okay, now, that was all. Did you get it? Did you get it on video? By the way, if y'all want to see this at home, he's got it on video. Okay, now this, that was cool, man. I never make that shot. That was great. Okay, I know what happened. By the way, I used the 5 on his piano. I made it against Stefano Palinga. And Stefano Palinga, the first time I missed it, right? Second time I used the 5 and I made it. And Stefano sits in his chair for a while. He's a good buddy, right? He's sitting in his chair, and when I start walking over there after making it, he gets out of his chair and he goes like this. Nice shot, Tom. It was great. I'll never forget it. I mean, you make this against an opponent in a competition with trick shots, you can pretty well have your opponent say, nice shot. What are you going to do? It's a tough shot. I know it looked easy, but that's a tough shot. Let me show you a tougher shot because that's too easy. Let me show you some shots. We don't want to shoot those easy shots, okay? I'm going to show you a shot that years ago I learned when I was kind of getting warmed up in a lot of these shots professionally. You don't even see them anymore. One of the most famous shots that ever came up was this one. We had a 9-ball sitting here, and I'm going to give you kind of a predecessor. Yesterday I did 2 shots. I had 2 balls like this. You remember this? If you were watching on the stream yesterday, you saw this shot go in. So I'm going to do a little recap from yesterday just for this shot and the next one and the one after that and the one after that. So the one ball was going here, and and if you want to check that out, you can just go like this, and that tells you if the spot's right. You all know that. So if you go like this, and you go like this, and you want to make the shot, then all you got to do is make the 2 and the 3, and the cue ball whips around to the 9 ball, right? You all know that shot. So let me, just in case you weren't here yesterday, there's a simple shot. Stroke it like this around the table. The ball goes over like this, comes down like this, goes right there, hits there, and comes down, and you get position on the 9 ball. This is a very difficult shot to get position on a 9 ball with. Now, some players say, well, what if you want to make the 9? Well, to make the 9, you got to wait until you're shooting the 7, 8, 9, right? So we'll shoot the 7, 8, 9 this time. Because I don't want, if you shoot it early like that, they'll think you're like moving the 9 early. Don't mess with that. Shoot it in order. Now, when you make it like this, watch what happens. You see a difference like this? Now you make it, and you don't have to wait until it's a 1, and that should go. That's even harder. It is so hard to make a cue ball with that shot. Now, that's the first shot. Dave, write that down. That's the first shot. The next shot, I'm getting to the hard one. Give me time. I'm getting to the hard one. The next shot was this one, right? And this is here. And you make this 6 on a bank. You add a bank with it. And you're adding a bank, and you're adding a carom. And the cue ball goes like this around the table, over like this, down like this. So that was the next shot. Then the next shot was tougher. Now the ball's here. And you have this shot. So imagine having this shot here, right? Now we're going to get to the shot. I'm getting to it, okay? Then because this guy here loves it. So you ready for this? Now watch this. Here's a shot. Now this is even harder. You had the balls like this for the championship, okay? Got it? And you put this over here. This is Steve Mizurek's shot. You've all seen him. So there's the shot Steve Mizurek made famous. Yeah, just showing off. And now you got a bank, and you got a carom, and you got a combination, and you got tangential curve with osmosis drift. And you hit this like this, and you spin it like this around the table like this. The ball goes over like that. See how easy that works? Just like that. Now, the 6 ball, I left intentionally, so when I shoot the 6, you can shoot it like this. The ball goes like that. Now the next shot, okay? The next shot. It's an easy bank. See, if I hadn't left that 6, you wouldn't have seen that shot. Now, I can make that without the 6. I can make it with the 3. Okay, now, you understand the 3's half there compared to the 6. He's getting every joke. You know, most people don't get my jokes. He's getting every joke I got. Thank you. What is your first name? No, right here. Stephen? What is it? That's correct. Okay, now let's go over here. Thank you, Trevor. Trevor's my hero. He's my banking buddy. He's the black guy. All right, let's do some harder shots. Many years later, another movie came out. Does anybody know the name of that movie? Yeah, it wasn't a real class movie. It was different, you know. Some people liked it, some didn't. Most didn't. That's why it failed, and it didn't go very far. But most people loved the trick shots in it. I'll show you a trick shot in it. This was a shot that was famous in the movie. Maybe you remember this. You all remember this shot? Remember this shot? Now in the movie, remember this in the movie? And they made this ball. Now, by the way, this shot's 150 years old, but in the movie it was only like 5 years ago. So the key to this is you have to go back 150 years to see how they made it. So I'm going to do 3 versions. First, the version from 150 years ago. Then I'm going to do the Pool Hall Junkies version. Then I'm going to do an updated Dr. Q version. So this is pretty cool. So I'm going to make this original version, you split these balls on this diamond. You aim 2 inches to the right of this pocket. Elevate your cue 22.68 degrees Celsius. Fahrenheit, excuse me. And you stroke the ball smooth, like this, 8 in the side. And if you don't make it, shoot it until you make it. Because you're doing the show. Well, now that's the original shot. Pretty simple. Now we're going to go to number 2. Number 2 was when in the Pool Hall Junkies, they didn't do that shot that way. They did a one-handed spear jack-up osmosis shot. And I got to thinking, how did they make that shot first time in the movie? And I realized editing. Because nobody makes this shot first time one-handed jack-up. So this is what they did. They would get like this, and they would stand back, and they would elevate their cue. Now I'm going to take no more than 10 tries. For me, then I'm going to take 10 for you. which makes 20. So here we go. So I'm going to try this shot in the side one-handed. I know it looks easy. I got it. Watch this.
Oh.
This may go in soon. Watch this. Watch this shot. If y'all want to get something to eat and come back later, I'll be shooting this shot. Boom. Now, okay. Basic shot. Basic shot. Now we're going to go to the Dr. Cue version because it's much more complicated, okay? In the next version, you got to make it so it's exciting for the people watching. And for it to be exciting, you have to get balls flying through the air so it looks like it's coming at you, all right? These are called jump shots, but this is a very unique jump shot. I'm going to actually make this 8-ball on the side by jumping over the 3 back into the 8-ball. So here we go.
It's moving the camera.
All right. This is an awesome shot. 8 in the side.
That's okay.
Now I can feel this going in already. Can you all feel it going in already? Thank you. I got it. Boom. That's your shot. So basically the jump cue, I love jump shots. I showed you some jump shots yesterday. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on jumps today, but I'm going to show you the one that I did yesterday that everybody likes. It's a nice shot where you have 15 balls like this along the rail. And the only reason we couldn't do this shot anymore in competition, we couldn't do this in competition because the pockets were never gully. They were always just pocket tables, and you couldn't get all the balls in the pocket. So this was the shot that it was one of my favorite shots, but nobody could ever shoot it. So I save it only for shows mostly. This is just a pretty shot. It's kind of a repeat. I'm only going to do a few. I've only done a few repeats today. Most of this stuff is new for you. A little bit of more teaching and stuff. So here we go. All the balls. 7 solids, and one more solid over there. Excuse me. 7 stripes, and one more stripe over there. Now you're all thinking, how do you know they're solids or stripes? Well, you can tell. These are solid. So when you're in a game, you can shoot this. These are also stripes. Small stripe, big stripe. Big stripe. So whether you take solids or stripes, you can't lose because everything's a solid and everything's a stripe. I think that's in the rule book, isn't it, Ted? Sure. Somewhere. My book. Yeah, my rule book. Okay, here we go. Enjoy, everybody. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Boom. Okay, I got it now. All right. So that's some basic concepts. You know, I'm going to try something right now. I didn't do this yet. This is the hardest jump shot I know. I'm going to try it. If I make this, everybody's passing out in this arena, and everybody at home, half of you are going to pass out. So if you want to make sure that you're sitting down for this, very important to sit down. People have been known to complete it. The knees get weak and they fall down, they hurt themselves, and I can't be responsible, and the streamers are not responsible if you get hurt because of the awesome nature of this shot. So please, I want to protect everybody in this arena, okay? And said Ted, I don't want to injure anybody because of this, okay? So here we go. We're going to do a shot that is absolutely breathtaking. Now get ready for this, everybody. Here it goes. Is anybody having fun besides me? Yeah. Let's see if they're having fun at home. Yeah, you hear 'em?
Everybody enjoying this, hit the thumbs up.
Get ready, everybody. You're going to see a shot that's phenomenal. A phenomenal shot. Imagine you're playing for the Intercontinental Interplanetary Championship. And this is your shot on the 8-ball. Now you have a couple of choices here. The first choice is to kick at it. Most players would try to kick at this. I'll try a kick. The kick is not a high percentage shot. We'll see what happens. Safety, not bad. Not a bad safety. Yeah, that's a safety. Okay, that's called a scratch.
That's safe. You can't shoot it from under there. That's pretty safe.
That is safe. You're right.
I think that's a safe shot.
Let's try another one. Let's try an easier shot. Are you ready for this? Here's the shot. Through the air, drop down, side pocket. I'll guarantee you some people are going to pass out on this. Now, I need a helper on this. I need somebody to come over on this side of the table. Just somebody can give me a hand on this. Come on up here. Yep. Stand over on the side. Thank you. Okay. Thanks for helping. You can go sit down now. Okay. No, come here. Come here. Bad joke. Okay, here we go now. We're gonna do something that's pretty awesome. Have you seen this, right? It's an awesome shot. I'm going to make it within 20 tries. If I don't need you, it'd be really awesome. You know, I've actually made this 4 times in a row one time without needing any help. Then I passed out, and I don't even remember the rest of it. Now, so the cue ball is going to go up and hit it. Now, sometimes I hit it, and I make a mistake, and I mess everything up. So what are you going to do? Let's see if you can do that, okay? So let me first do this. All right? What are you going to do? You want to practice that anymore? You want to practice it? Or you okay? All right, now sometimes I miss it up completely like this. See what you do. Yeah, you want to practice that anymore? Okay. Well, I want to make sure because I'm going to do my part, and you, because we could get somebody else, but you got it down there. Okay, here we go. 8 ball on the side, everybody get ready. Awesome shot. No more than 20 tries on this shot. I can feel it. Watch this shot. 8 in the side. Yeah, don't overexert. No, don't overexert, okay? I got it. Watch this. Your chance. Put it on back there. There should be little holes there for you to put them in. I got it. Yep. Okay, you ready? I got it. Hang on. Maybe yeah, I marked it. Sometimes I don't mark them right. I got it. You ready? Number 3. How are we doing? You're not getting tired, are you? Nope. Okay, keep doing it. Because they really want to see you. They don't want to see me do this, okay? Number 4. 8 in the side. Watch this. Oh, it's close. Hold on. Number 5. Oh. Number 6. Number 7. If y'all want to get something over here to drink and come back, I'll be shooting it yet. How you doing? You're not getting tired? I still got 12 to go. By the way, those watching at home, I know you want to go and get something in the refrigerator and come back, so I'll wait for you. I'll be shooting when you come back. You're not going to miss a thing, okay? Number 8. Oh, bank shot. Oh, it was go. Oh, it was close. Oh. Number 9. Number 10. This is really getting on my nerves right now, okay? You ready? Number 10. Number 11. Number 10. Thank you. Number 10. Could you adjust your hat to the right 10 degrees? Thank you. Oh. You went 11. Don't go 11 degrees when I say 10, okay? Thank you. Oh, no, I'll do the, no, it's okay. I don't want you to work any harder than you have to. I'll get it. I can handle it. I'm a professional. It means nothing right now. You ready? Number 11, number 12, number 11. This shot's getting on my nerves. If I don't make this before 20, I'm going to shoot it again. Pocket's in the wrong place. Number 13. Are you ready for me to make it now? By the way, if you all have any questions, ask the person next to you. Number 14. Shot's really getting on my nerves. Number 15. Say goodnight, Irene. Number 16. Ball, please. Have you got plenty of footage? You got plenty of film?
Oh, yeah. No.
Have you got enough film to do the editing with? Yeah. Thank you. This is a Kodak moment. You may never see this again. How about you? You got enough film in your camera? Okay. You got one of those discs that goes like that? It's cool, man. Okay. Number 2. Oh. Sorry, number 4. I got it. Hey! First try! First try, ladies. Listen, if you're at home, edit. Awesome. That was cool, man. What a shot. You make that, your opponent's passing out, I guarantee you. I got now something else I got to show you. It's pretty cool. And this is the one I was trying to remember before, and I almost forgot it. There are some old trick shots most people have never seen, like this one. I'll show you a couple old shots. Here's an old trick shot. Ball like this. 2 balls like this. And this is called bridge over troubled table. It's an old trick shot. All right. Great shot. One of the great shots ever. This was an old ESPN favorite. Everybody was making it, so they eventually did away with the shot. Now we'll just do one strong. There we go. So this was the way it was done. Usually we use a bridge, but I don't have a bridge here, so I'm just going to do it this way. This will work. So this was the shot from ESPN years ago. Super shot. Cue ball is going to hit the 7, 8 under the bridge. Cue ball up in the air, over the bridge, out the door, around the building. That's a different shot. Forget it. Here we go. Watch this shot. 7, 8, and 9. One of the old shots of pool. Simple shot. Everybody made this shot hundreds of times. Position. Position. I can make it. I got to use a couple smaller balls because those balls are too big over there. Now we'll make it with the smaller balls. See, smaller balls, you have a little bit less mass, and the mass doesn't affect the cue ball as much. Are you ready? Watch this. How's that one? Instant replay. Instant replay. Now, pick a number between 4 and 6, sir. Pick a number between 4 and 6, anybody. 4. Right. Pick a number between 4 and 6. 4. Here we go. I got it. I got it. One more time. Okay, last attempt. This is not a hard shot. Everybody should make this shot. Let me chalk it. Okay, I'm going to do something. Now listen, I haven't taught this yet. What I'm about to do is very dangerous in your pool. If you're in a tournament, you're struggling a little bit, which I'm now struggling on purpose, but if you're struggling a little bit and you don't know what to do, I'm going to show you how never to have another problem in your game. Quit. No, that's not it. You want to keep playing, but you want to do the following 3 things. 1, you must chalk here. This is for refills. That's why they make the cue bigger. The chalk fits and you go, bzz, it goes right to the tip, okay? 2nd, you must turn your cue once left and once right. That's what Tom Cruise did in The Color Money. Remember that? I was doing a show one time at a college, and these kids were all over the world were doing this. And when the kids were in a lunch counter area, they had a pool table in the lunchroom. This guy's swirling a stick playing pool, and I says, if I were you, I wouldn't do. And as soon as I said do, the cue flies out of his hands, goes across and wipes out everything at the lunch counter. And I said, that's why we don't do that, okay? So this is only to reset the fibers in the cue. Then the 3rd thing, which is very dangerous in relation to the other 2 items, you must reset the fibers of the brain, the right brain cells. So this is what you do. That's it. This guarantees a shot goes in. Now, I know this sounds crazy, but I've never missed this doing this. Chalk, flip, right brain implant. Got it? Everybody got it? All right. You'll look a little strange in a tournament doing that. Don't worry about it. You make the shot, who cares? Watch this. Awesome shot. See what happens?
Money.
Once you reset the fibers of the cue, yeah, I'm sorry, I can't help that. I can't help that. Now, the next shot's pretty interesting. This was an old shot by Lou Butera. How many of you ever remember the name Lou Butera? Anybody hear that name? His nickname was Machine Gun Lou Butera. He passed away, I think it was last year or the year before. He was one of the greatest players in the history of pool. He was in the straight pool era with Willie Mosconi, actually the next generation. Lou Butera and I met Lou when I got out of college in Brunswick in Chicago, and Lou came up to me and he says, my name's Lou Butera, and I got this world record. It's 150 balls in 22 minutes, and I didn't miss. Can you imagine 150 balls without missing in 22 minutes? Let's think about that a second. That's amazing. That's 7 balls a minute without missing. And I looked at Lou, and you know what I told Lou? Lou, I'm not impressed with that record. Anybody could pretty much do that. And he said, what do you mean? I said, well, listen, I got a record that's twice as good as that. I one time missed 150 balls in 22 minutes and never got credit for it. And he says, well, anybody can do that. And I said, try it. He couldn't miss a ball. So you have to think about the joke, and it's really pretty funny. See, you got it, didn't you? Yeah, you got it. But you know, some people don't get that joke because they're really serious pool players, you know. You got to get into this, okay? It's a little deep. It's deep. So here we go. Here we go, everybody. Watch this. This was Lou Butera's famous shot. Lou Butera made this shot famous. He loves this shot. This is called the over and under the bridge shot. You very seldom see it anymore. The cue ball hits the 8 under the bridge. The cue ball jumps up in the air, goes over the bridge, comes back under the bridge, and makes the 9. Very old shot. You'd have to go into Google and click in over and under the bridge to see this. Nobody does it, hardly ever. I used to love this shot. Watch the cue ball come back into the 9, over and under the bridge. That's not it. I'll make this shot. This is a great shot. If you've got nothing to do for 3 days, this is a good shot to work on. I can feel it. I got it. Watch this. 9 in the corner, 2 in the corner. Watch this shot. Did you see that 9? That's because that's where it's supposed to be. I tried to put it somewhere else. That's why it's going to go now. Watch this shot. Awesome shot, everybody. You got to gyrate this one. I can see that right now. You got to gyrate this. If you've never played pool and had to gyrate a ball, this is going to teach you how to gyrate a ball. Watch this gyration. Watch the smoke on top of the cue ball this time. This is called gyrating smoke on a cue ball. Watch this cue ball gyrate. Watch this. Awesome. I got it. Now, the only problem is this 5-ball has never been involved in this shot before, so it doesn't really know what it's supposed to do. So what I'm going to do is, I don't like to use I shouldn't have done that because I knew this wasn't going to work. So let me take the 3, because this is the shot that, this is trained. The 3 is trained. Okay, I'll do it with the 3 so you know which one to use when you're practicing this shot. So here we go. The 3 is a trained trick shot ball. Watch what happens on this shot when it's trained. A trained 3 ball this time. Watch this. Awesome. It's trained. Watch this shot. Awesome. Trained. All right. All right. I now want to show you something I did yesterday, but I want to make it, I want to expand it. Yesterday I did some shots, but I didn't expand it. I'm going to expand it into something really unique right now. One of the greatest shots in pool. Yesterday I did something with 2 cue sticks. If you remember that, we had the balls like this. We were playing 9-ball. And we had the 9-ball here. We had the 5. We had the 2 and the 3. And we had the cue ball up here. Y'all remember that from yesterday? I know the viewers saw that yesterday. Y'all remember this, but there's some people here in the arena who have never seen this. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to show you how to use chopsticks. Then we're going to take it to the next level. So first, a recap. We're going to use chopsticks. We're going to walk in. We're going to walk into position. Shots are straight in. Instant draw on the cue ball every time. We're going to do cut shots, no problem. We're not going to use a bridge. Over the instructions, shoot this way, the cue ball comes back. Get a running start and bank the last ball like this. Now, when you get done, you do this. It's called roller coaster cues. Like this. I don't know how to stop it. Over the pocket, drop it in. Now I'm going to try a harder version. This is called Olympic roller coaster cues. Instead of between the hands, I'm going to put it out in this outer area, and I'm going to do a body flip. So be careful, I'll be flipping. Yeah, this is very difficult. A body flip. Roller coaster cue body flip. This is a lot different. Oh, almost. This is tough. I got it. It's stuck. Get stuck. That's close enough. Okay, I can't do that one. Okay, here we go. Next. Here's another one. Now we're going to do the extension. 2 shots that are breathtaking. Listen, if you're in the distance here, you should get prepared for this, okay? Because it's truly an amazing thing you're going to see. I'm looking forward to seeing this myself. So I get excited about seeing this stuff because sometimes I never see it. You know, and I want you to be aware of the fact that what you're about to see is something that's truly unbelievable, which doesn't make a bit of sense because if you see it, it's believable. All right, so you ready? We're going to show you how to play pool in Australia. Now, Australia pool players are a little bit different, and I know there's some viewers from Australia probably. We probably have a few from Australia watching this. So what I'm going to do is explain that in Australia, they have a lot of famous things in Australia. One of them is called down under pool. Maybe you've heard of that. You know, down under. So this is speed down under pool in Australia with a 9-ball. put this down under, shoot it. If you don't like it, stop it, bring it back. So wrong English, bring it back. Wrong speed, bring it back. Wrong whatever, bring it back. It goes out and it comes back. It goes out, back, out, back, out, back in Australia. Out, back in Australia. That's a great joke if you think about it. Then pivot, then aim, and then shoot like this, and the ball goes over there, hits there, comes over like this. Cue ball hits this, and the 9 stops there. Now the next shot. The next shot's where you actually make the 9. You goes out like this, you go like this, you pivot, you aim, and you shoot like this, and the ball goes like that. Now, that's a basic shot, right? Let's make it more complicated. In Australia, they play, this is how they play in New Zealand, a little smaller pool balls. So New Zealand goes out like this, and New Zealand comes, whoops, that's a New Zealand shot, hang on. New Zealand goes out, and New Zealand comes back. Australia playing New Zealand. Upper bracket, lower bracket. New Zealand, lower bracket, Australia, upper bracket. Then, of course, you have Texas. Now, if you're playing with pool balls that are on Miracle Grow, you got a problem. Because Miracle Grow will make the balls grow like that, and then you got a real problem. How do you play with those things? Not a problem. You put the big ball under the big ball like that, and you shoot it, and you bring it back. Then you got Australia playing Texas. Australia upper bracket, Texas lower bracket. Then you got Texas in the upper bracket, Australia in lower bracket. And then you got New Zealand playing Texas. Plenty of room to move around the upper bracket. And then you got Texas on over there like that, and Texas in New Zealand. And then you got 3 balls at the same time like this, which is really difficult. Then you got this one here. That's really difficult. That was funny. I should use that more often. Nobody ever laughs at anything else. Let's do that again. Okay, now we're going to do a snowman. Now, listen, have you ever been somewhere there's no snow? I know that you're in Canada and you have snow all the time, but sometimes you don't have snow, like in Argentina, except in the elevations, there's no snow. So I go to Argentina and they want to see snow, but I don't bring any with me because it would melt right away. So I said, I'll bring snow in the form of fruit. This is a banana, this is a coconut, and that's an orange. I'm going to create a tropical Sunday snowman. So we're going to put the coconut on top of the orange, the banana on top of the dish. We're going to bring it down like that. This is called a tropical Sunday snowman. The banana goes down like this to that end of the dish, stops. The orange and the coconut come back. The banana comes back, and pretty soon you see a tropical Sunday snowman. You'll see the snowman right there. Snowman. See the snowman? Now, if you ever go to Antarctica, this is a snowman in Antarctica. That's an Antarctica snowman. Let me do that joke one more time. That's an Antarctica snowman. Okay, forget that joke.
Kevin,
now,
this is an exhibition.
that's a hard joke to pick up on right there.
Now, it is an exhibition.
2 things to go. And I want to teach a little bit about, I want to teach a couple angles. I didn't get into all, I want to do some system teaching. I've been doing a few tricks I taught earlier, basic mechanics, but in English, but I want to show you a couple of diamond system things before we wind this up today. I'm going to now show you the most popular shot out of 2,000 shots. There are a lot of shots over the years that have been done, but this shot is still, across the board, it is still considered the #1 shot because everybody thinks they can do it. But there are 20 variations. I'm going to show you the ESPN version. Okay, now in order to do this, I need to loosen up my arm swing a little. So I'm going to use the egg, phenolic egg, just so I can loosen up to make sure that my arm is swinging properly. Okay, you got it? Have you ever seen that egg before? You'll see the egg now, okay? So this is the egg shot. It's a great shot. Very simple concept. The egg is sleeping. We're going to make the egg wake up. So the egg is sleeping. Watch the egg rise up. Watch the egg rise up. This is awesome. I had to nudge it a little bit because it was turning over, see? So here we go. Watch the egg rise up. The egg rise up, see? Cool. That's a simple thing. Now let's move on. Here we go. Get ready. We're going to do this shot. Get ready for this one. All right, here we go. Get ready, everybody. This is going to be an awesome shot. If you want to film it, film it. It'll be worth the price of admission. And since there was no charge, you're going to get what you pay for. So watch this. You ready? That was funny. Now, that was really funny, okay, if you think about that. Right, Dad? That's funny. So here we go. I love that joke. Yeah, huh? Yeah, actually what I'm doing now, I'm testing. I've been testing for 30 years and everybody says no, don't do it. So here we go. So I pay much attention to everybody. Okay, you ready? Here we go. Get ready. One of the greatest shots in pool. It's called the Chattanooga Choo-Choo Switch Yard version. Now, you've all seen a version, but not this version probably. Unless you watched ESPN from the early 2000 time frame, you probably didn't see this shot, not this version. It's one of the great shots ever for competition. I used to do this in competition. I practiced it for hours. The reason I practiced for hours is because I knew nobody else would practice it because they would take it for granted. Because most players think they know how to do it. So I practiced, and I practiced an important concept. I don't know if you're familiar with this, but if you do this shot and the cue ball comes in, and watch these cues here. Watch what happens when this cue ball hits these cues. See him shift a little? If you set this up and those cues shift and you don't practice what's called shifting cues, you're going to miss and lose the world championship for $25,000. So I spent hours practicing shifting cues, so at every time if I hit it, I knew how much they were going to shift based upon the speed, so that when I did this in competition, I would make it, and the person would come up and shoot it, and it would shift, and they wouldn't practice it, they would miss the balls, because it throws out the balls coming down the cues. It was awesome. So this is a shot that can win in a tournament for you if you practice it. But yes? Is one out further? The tips are level with each other. Yeah. Yeah, and the way you adjust this angle is by, well, you could do that, but there's a problem with the last ball going in then. So what happens, you put this here, and what you do is you check it, and you put a ball here, and you see what happens to the ball when it hits it. It's got to get out a little bit more, because when they shift, it's going to stop if you're not careful. So if I go like this, let's see what happens now. See how fast it gets out of the way? I want it to be a little faster. There. So now, when that comes down, it's actually hitting half ball. So when the cue ball comes in and shifts it, it ends up being perfect. So here we go. This is the Chattanooga Choo-Choo shifting cues. Awesome shot. This is now an engine, and this is also a caboose. And the engineer is the cue ball. And I'm going to take out a little piece of paper. This is like a match or a toothpick. Little piece of paper. You can use anything that holds the cue ball in place. So the engineer is here, and this is a railroad tie holding the tracks together. And the engineer is working on the tracks. So the engineer's up here on top of the tracks like this, working on the tracks. And then these cars are on a side rail like this. So these cars are waiting for the engineer to get the track fixed, you see. You all see that, right? You see. Right. Of course you see, because you're seeing it now. So here we go. This brings back a lot of memories, this shot here. This is an awesome shot. I've never met anybody that didn't like this shot anywhere in the world. So remember, if you're at home, make sure you're securely anchored to a chair or your couch. If you're standing up in your living room, make sure you hold on to the person next to you. I don't want you going down on this shot, okay? Everybody in the room, if you're standing up, please be careful over here. There's a lot of people standing up, and your knees will get a little weak from the awesome nature of the shot. You'll go down and hurt your arm or your leg, and I'm in trouble, okay? So everybody, did you all hear the disclaimer? I just gave you the disclaimer. Raise your hands if you agree with that I'm not responsible. Go ahead. Okay, everybody, you know I'm not responsible now. And if they don't raise their hands, Ted, I have to ask them to leave, okay? So, but they're all agreed, okay? So I'm not responsible, okay? Here we go. Oh, you think I'm kidding? You wouldn't believe the hospitals we have to call to carry people out of the arena on this shot. Okay, you ready? Here we go. I'm kidding. Here it is, everybody. I'll explain the shot. This is the engine and the caboose. The engine hits the yellow car and the blue car. Yellow car at this destination, blue car at this destination. The engine takes a scenic route around the U.S., goes up the Canadian Rockies, goes around the Horseshoe Bend, goes down the Appalachians. The engineer, here's a train coming down the mountainside. The engineer runs down the tracks, knocks the 3 in, gets out of the way, and all the balls going behind it. What a cool shot. Now, if you listen really close, you'll hear that train coming around the mountain, okay? Here we go. Watch this. What a shot this is. Enjoy, everybody. And after this, a little bit of teaching. Now, that's called a steam engine. A steam engine doesn't quite have enough steam. And many years ago, I was in a place called Helper, Utah, and you have to hit extra engines on the cars. You can't get them over around the curve. See, it's too high elevation. What's the height of the Canadian Rockies at their highest point? Anybody know? 10,000? 12,000? Okay. You've got to have extra engines to get over those mountains, right? There's trains going over there. So I have to do this again, but I have to have extra engines. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you how to get extra engines on this train. Because it'll never get over those mountains if you don't have the extra engines, okay? So here it is. Now I'm assuming, let me see here. I'm assuming, yeah, it's right over. Oh yeah, you have power here. Where's your power strip? I've never seen a power strip with this many connections. So are these free here?
Yep.
Because I have these batteries and they're a little bit weak on this. I have to recharge the batteries, okay? So just give me a 110, right?
Yep.
Or whatever you call it here. Just give me a couple minutes. See, if the batteries get weak and you don't charge your batteries, you can't get this to go up the cues right. Just take a second. I have a fast charger on. Okay, it's ready. So here we go. The engine is fully charged to go over the mountains. So enjoy, everybody. You know, I can see it right now. You know what they're saying at home? That guy's a nut. But see, I don't really care about that so much. I care that you at home and everybody here is having fun, that you're learning the game, and that you can play seriously and still have fun in your spare time. You don't, even when you're playing, you can have fun. If you're not enjoying the game and loving the game, no matter whether you win or lose, you're just kind of going through the motions. So just remember, you're here, you made it here, and even if you finish dead last, you do 2 and out, you didn't lose. Because out of, what is there, 2,000 people here maybe, Ted, or whatever? 1,000. Do you realize that out of 1,000 people who are in this tournament, that's out of 7 billion people in the world? That's pretty amazing. So these are the best 1,000 people right now in this hotel, in pool. So don't feel bad if you got 2 and out or you lost. You didn't lose. What about those other 6,999,000,000, whatever number it is? It's a blessing to be here. Don't ever forget that. You ready? Thank you, Ted, for all you do. Here we go, everybody. Watch this shot. Wait. Zzz, zzz. I got it. Okay. I got it. I will now do something I wasn't going to do. Now listen, everybody. Remember I showed you something earlier I did? And I said it's guaranteed to work no matter what you do? Be very careful what I'm about to do now. I didn't think I was going to have to do this, but I've come to the conclusion I must do this. So here it is. That's it. Guaranteed to go now. I know it's crazy. It works every time. So if you're in a game, chalk, do this, and you'll look really weird, okay? I got it. Watch this. It's going to work perfect. Watch this shot. Boom. So you understand that if you don't do this and that, you ain't making it. Now I want to show the other version of this. The other version, and this is a little bit tricky, the other version is with this little bag here. And the bag is an amazing bag. I don't know how many of you have ever had a little, it's a Dr. Q bag, but it's a special bag. Do you see anything in that bag? Nothing. You notice here? Nothing in the bag, nothing in the bag. I want to make sure we're all clear on this, Ted. Nothing in the bag. Yep. Streamers, nothing in the bag, nothing in the bag, nothing in the bag. Nothing in the bag, right? Yes, nothing in the bag, okay? Now I'm now going to show you what's actually in the bag. Air. Do you see the air in the bag, okay? The air is in the bag. This is called an air bag. Great joke. Not real funny, but great joke, okay? That's an air bag. I'll explain that joke later. Here we go, now. You want to go see the air? Go to California, you'll see the air, okay? Here we go. I got it. Guarantee you'll see the air in California. Here we go. Here it is. This is it. The tunnel, it's called the tunnel version. It's a great look. This is the, now by the way, remember I said there were 20 variations? First one was the ESPN Shifting Cues version. This one here is the kindergarten version. It's for kids, love this. We don't have a real young one here. I'd have this for the, oh, hi. Hi, you want to help me? You want to help me? Come over here, buddy. Look at here, we got a young one. You were here for this. Look at this smile. You were here for this show, weren't you? Yeah. Hi, give me a little, buddy. Hi, ouch, that was good. You hear that? I've been working out. Don't ever do it again. Come here. You ready? How you doing, buddy? What's your first name? That's correct, Brian. How did you know that?
Because it's my name.
Do you know my name, Brian? My last name's Cue. My first name's Doctor. Dr. Cue to you.
Oh, my dad.
I know it's tough, Brian. It's my show. Calm down, okay? Here we go now. Okay, Brian, are you ready for this? You're going to do the tunnel version for everybody here and everybody at home. They're going to love it. You're on the stream right now. Say hi to your friends.
Hi.
Great, man.
Too cute.
Is this great?
That's awesome.
Go ahead, finish the show. I'm done. No, I'm done. Oh, yeah, you
Doesn't
do.
know
Right,
what
just
to
like we
do.
practiced, Brian.
Yeah.
All right, Brian, put your left hand up here like you right-handed or left-handed.
I got a special cue.
Yeah, but this is a trick cue, Brian. It's a trick cue. You have to use it because it's in the book. Okay? Now, Brian, I have a question. Are you left or right-handed? Do you,
I have no idea.
that's perfect.
Happy
So we're going to
extras.
figure out what you are. I want you to take this hand and put this hand on the cue like this. Can you do that for me? Put them right on there, buddy, like that. Now take your right hand and put it right here. Now take your left foot and put it on your right ear. No, forget that. Okay, that's wrong. Now, yeah, that was kind of funny, wasn't it? Now, Brian, we need to shoot this together. You're going to count to 3. What grade are you in?
I'm 1.
That's correct. So, and I assume you're counting numbers, right?
Yeah, I count up to 100 and infinity.
The what?
To infinity.
Count to infinity. I'll wait.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I think I got it, buddy, okay? You're going to infinity, right? But you know what happens when you get to infinity? You can always add one more. Think about that one. That's good. Okay, come on, Brian. Put your hand. Yeah, infinity and 1. That's right. Okay, Brian, get ready. We're going to count to 3. You ready? 1, 2. Now, Brian, do you remember that shot? That's just how we practiced it. Remember that? And if you give it time, it's liable to go up there all by itself. Let's watch the cue ball and see if it goes up there by itself. No, that wouldn't work. Okay, come on, Brian. Why did I do what?
Use an airbag.
Well, because I'm a comedian. That's a joke. But nobody thought it was funny except for you and me, Brian, okay? Okay, Brian, put your hand up here again, buddy. Come on, one more time, buddy. Put your hand back here. You ready? We're going to count to 3 again. Are you ready? 1, 2. How's it look this time, Brian? Watch it.
Yeah, right.
Look at here. Dr. Q Jr. Dr. Q Jr. That's awesome. Thanks, buddy. Thanks, Brian. Thanks a lot, buddy. Thanks. Thanks a lot for being here. That's what we're talking about. If that don't bring you some new players, nothing will. All right, one last thing I want to teach you a little bit. That's enough of the tricks. A little bit about the diamond system. Now, earlier I was explaining yesterday, but I'm going to go a little bit more detail today. Yesterday I was teaching how to use these diamonds, but I'm going to show you something today that extends what I taught yesterday to something that's far advanced, and some of you are really going to appreciate this because you're going to use it in the game. Well, I know everybody will appreciate it, but I'm going to show you, first of all, how to calculate something, and I'm going to show you how to calculate an advanced shot. If you remember the other day, and I had a ball here like this. Remember this? And I had 2 balls like this. And you remember when we shot this? I explained this to everybody who was watching. We wanted to hit this ball, so we gave a value to this ball called 0. And we went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everybody was here when I did that. And then we went to this rail here, and we gave numbers. And the numbers are in halves. This was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We put this here like this. And we connected these 2 chalks. And that gives you a triangle like this. It gives you a triangle, and it gives you an angle. And all we did is we took our cue stick, and we moved over to the cue ball parallel. We stepped back. We went into the shot. We hit the cue ball on the right side with a smooth stroke, and the ball went down the corner. Now, we did that, and that was, everybody learned that yesterday. But this shot gets more complicated. I only showed you the easy version. Remember when it was here? And it was like this? Same system. 0, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now, by the way, when you count up here and there's a pocket, you don't want to put this chalk out too far. You want to put it in line with the diamonds. So the diamond is in the middle here, of the pocket in line. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3. If it's here, it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. If it's here, it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wherever this starts, it's 0. So we're going to put it here. We're going to go up here to 3, and we're going to go to 3. And on this end, it's there's one pocket, number 1, 2, 3, like this. It connect, move parallel to the cue ball, go through your pre-shot routine, step into the shot, smooth stroke, hit the ball like this. The ball comes down like this, okay? That's the way the shot was intended, like that. That's a simple shot. Now, that shot is relatively easy. Everybody can count from 1 to 9. Everybody can use the right side of the spin. If you don't know what English that is, because most people will ask, what English? The English is easy. The English is if you put a ball here, and you come over to the middle diamond, and you go to this third diamond here, and you put your cue ball there. The English is whatever spin you put on the ball to make this ball. If you hit the cue ball like this, you got the wrong English. It's not going to make the ball. So therefore, I'm teaching you English by having you shoot a shot. That's the same for everybody. The English may be different. The spin may be a little different because your stick is different. It bends different. It has a different tip. But the bottom line is if you've got a tip this size and you can make that ball hit that, you've got the spin for the shots I'm going to teach. So when I go down this line, if I hit the cue ball on the right side and the ball does this like this, that's the English for that shot because any other spin won't make that shot. So if you want to learn this English, put a ball on this line, shoot it down that line, and if the cue ball can go over and make a ball here, that's your English. You memorize that. Now, the advantage of that is the following. I'm going to do something now I didn't show yet here. This is a very essential element to your pool game. A lot of players, when they play pool, they like to play safeties. And so I'm going to show you a situation where there's two safeties. Let's say I've got a ball sitting. The cue ball is trapped like in here. And your opponent's kind of got you like this. You're playing 8-ball. And the 8-ball's here.
Camera again, his foot. It's tilted.
I'm going to show you something very interesting. All right, get ready for this. So here's your shot. Here's your shot in 8-ball. You're playing 8-ball, and the 3's in the way of the 8-ball. So you can't shoot this way. 2 rails. So you have 2 choices. The first choice is to shoot 1, 2, 3 rails into the 8 and try to drive the 8 up table and leave your cue ball in here somewhere and get a tie up. Now this would be against a top player. A top player, you got to play defense. You have no shot here. So if you're playing against a really weaker player or a person with less adaptation to the higher shots, then what you do is you come in like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and kick it in the side. I'm going to show you both ways. So no matter where you are in a game of pool, you should be able to calculate this. Here's how we do it. First, you remember the system I just told you, the ball is 0? But that's when it's on the rail or along the rail within an inch. If it's out like this, it's not in 0. You got to find 0. So I'm going to make this ball 0 by doing the following. I'm going to take from this rail to this center of this ball, and I'm going to flip it away from this rail like this. I'm going to flip it. It's like taking the 8-ball and flipping it like this. So this is where the 8-ball is in relation to this rail. That's up 1 diamond plus 7/8. It's 1 7/8 up. You all can see that. Then, whatever this distance is, that's called, by the way, the first transplant. You're transplanting the ball to the rail. Now, whatever distance is up on this rail, it's the same amount over on this rail. So if it's up 1.5, you go over 1.5. If it's up 1 3/4, you go over whatever this is. This is now 0. If I go 1, 2, 3, I'll come in and hit this 8 by calculating from 0 starting point. So 0, now we start counting like the regular system. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's 5. Now you notice I'm not in the diamond, right? I'm not at the diamond. The reason is because I don't start at the diamond. I'm that far short. So this would be 1 diamond from here to here. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, remember the 5 on the end rail? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 to 5. Parallel shift. Hit your cue ball now right on this line. It's awesome. Boom. So I hit the back of the ball. Now, let's assume that you're playing against a player who's not going to get out if you miss the 8. You might as well just go and try to make it. So here's now how you try to make it in the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, and kick in the backside. It's awesome. We take this distance, but instead of going away from this rail, you go toward this rail. We go like this. Now the 8 ball is like sitting here. So let's put it back. This is up about, there's a half. It's about 3/4 up, not quite. Say 5/8 up, it's 5/8 from the pocket. So that means that it's 5/8 over right there. That's 0. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Have I lost anybody yet? You all got this at home, right? Maybe you can explain this later. Anybody here in the arena if they lie? You all got it, right? Send them an email. So you ready? So here we got 4 to 4. And we shoot this shot. This is awesome. Watch this. Yeah. Now, I think what I'm going to do, because I might pass out if I do anything else, I think I'm going to end with that, okay? Because we've been going over an hour or so, and I've only made that about 3 or 4 times in my life out of 1,000 tries. But you have seen something on stream in the arena that knows that systems work. And I was shooting a lot of banks and kicks before. I showed you how to count. Now, if anybody has any other questions in the arena, we can cover that after the stream's over. But listen, those who are on the stream, thank you for watching all over wherever you are all over the world. Thanks for the streamers for doing this. We appreciate it. Ted, thank you for having me back at your event. And thanks to those that are here in the arena, we appreciate it. So we're going to have a little bit more fun and play some bank pool this afternoon. So thanks, everybody. Appreciate it.
Thanks, everybody. Tom, if you guys are new to the stream, enjoyed what you watch, give our Facebook page a like, Cue Sports Live. We're going to end the stream. We'll be back with the tournament here in about an hour. So tune in. Thanks for joining in, everybody. So, give our Facebook page a like, follow button. It'll notify you when we go live. Thanks for everybody tuning in. Thanks to Dr. Cue Tom Rossman. We're going to tear down, set back up in the tournament room, and have the finals this afternoon. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty. All the advanced division finals will be starting around 7 p.m. tonight, but give us about an hour to tear down, set back up. We'll be back in the tournament room and continue with that. So make sure you like the Facebook page, give us a follow, and tune in a little bit. Thanks, everybody. And you can look up all Dr. Cue stuff on YouTube. He's got a bunch of lessons. Same thing with the diamond banking system, stuff like that on YouTube if you're interested in watching that. So we'll see you guys back in a little bit. We'll tear down and reset back up in the tournament room.